It is a 12-carat oval Ceylon sapphire encircled by 14 round white diamonds, set in 18-carat white gold. It is not the most expensive ring in the royal collection. It is not the largest. It is not the oldest, but it is the most protected, because it belonged to Diana, and because of who chose it, who lost it, who carried it for 13 years, and who now wears it on her left hand every single day. It has become something far beyond a piece of jewelry. It has become the single most emotionally loaded object in the British royal family, and the story of what has happened to it and to Diana's entire jewelry collection. See, since her death in August 1997 is a story about power, about grief, about a son's determination to protect everything his mother left behind, and about the woman who, for years, had access to that collection, and the moment William decided she no longer would. February 1981. Prince Charles has proposed to Lady Diana Spencer. The engagement has been accepted. The palace now presents the couple with a selection of jewelry. For Diana to choose her ring, a tray was brought out. Emeralds, rubies, diamonds, all sparkling under the light, and among them, one striking piece. A 12-carat oval Ceylon sapphire surrounded by 14 diamonds. Not custom-made, not the most expensive option on the tray. In fact, anyone could have bought the exact same ring from Gerard's public catalog at the time. But that is the one she picked. Some said she chose it because it reminded her of her mother's engagement ring. Some said she simply liked the color. Diana herself rarely explained it. She just chose it, with the directness that would come to define her relationship with an institution that prized indirectness above all else. That independence, choosing a ring from a catalog instead of commissioning something bespoke, was the first quiet act of rebellion in a marriage that would become defined by them. The ring accompanied Diana through everything. Through the wedding at St. Paul's Cathedral in July 1981, watched by 750 million people. Through the births of William and Harry. Through the years of royal duty that slowly ground her down. Through the separation in 1992, when she left royal life but kept the ring. Through the divorce in 1996, and then through the tunnel in Paris on August 31st, 1997. After the crash, the ring was returned to William. Diana had left no specific will directing its inheritance, but the palace understood. William chose it, he kept it, and for 13 years, carrying it with him everywhere he went, terrified of losing it, he waited for the right moment. In October 2010 in Kenya, he proposed to Catherine Middleton with his mother's ring. "I literally would not let it go," he told journalists at the announcement. "Everywhere I went, I was keeping hold of it because I knew this thing. If it disappeared, I'd be in a lot of trouble." A grown man, future King of England, terrified of losing a ring not because of its value, because of what it meant. Now, here's what most people don't understand about Diana's jewelry. William and Harry did not inherit all of it. After Diana's death, the boys were allowed to choose personal pieces as heirlooms. William chose the sapphire engagement ring and later Diana's pearl earrings, which Kate has worn publicly, including at the VE Day celebrations in May 2025. Harry chose Diana's gold Cartier watch, which Meghan Markle has been spotted wearing, and Diana's aquamarine cocktail ring and a massive aquamarine stone set in 24-karat yellow gold, which Meghan wore at her wedding reception in 2018, but the rest, the majority of Diana's jewelry, was not personal property that passed to the boys, was part of the royal collection, and the royal collection passes from monarch to monarch. That means when Queen Elizabeth II died in September 2022, and Charles became king, the royal collection, including pieces Diana had worn, passed to the next monarch, to Charles, and to his wife, to Camilla. That is the constitutional reality. It is not theft. It is not malice. It is simply how the British monarchy's property laws work. But constitutional reality and emotional reality are two very different things, because there is one piece of Diana's jewelry that Camilla wearing has provoked a reaction no palace statement has ever fully extinguished: an emerald and diamond brooch featuring 3 ostrich feathers, the heraldic badge of the Prince of Wales. Diana was given it on her wedding day in 1981 by the Queen Mother. It was described as one of her most treasured personal gifts. After Diana's death, it became part of the royal collection. And in 2006, 9 years after Diana died, Camilla was photographed wearing it at Cheltenham Racecourse. Not just wearing it, having had it altered, remodeled from the form Diana had worn it in. The public reaction was immediate and volcanic. Thousands called it plain tacky and absolutely appalling. Royal fans said it should have been passed to Diana's sons. Others said Camilla had every right. It was royal collection property. The palace's official statement at the time. As it once belonged to the Queen Mother, she felt it was appropriate to wear. Appropriate. That single word, chosen very carefully, untold you everything about how the palace viewed the question. Not about Diana, about the Queen Mother. A deliberate distancing from the obvious connection, and that distancing, that institutional refusal to acknowledge the emotional weight of what Camilla wearing Diana's pieces meant, is exactly what William has spent years quietly pushing back against. Now, what has William done about it? This is where the story becomes about more than jewelry. Because William has, over the past several years, been systematically reclaiming Diana's legacy in a way that goes far beyond any single ring or brooch. The sapphire ring he proposed to Kate with is the most visible example, but it is far from the only one. Diana's lover's knot tiara, her signature piece, the one she wore to countless royal engagements, and that became as associated with her as the ring itself, is now worn by Kate, not Camilla. Kate, the woman who fills the role Diana once occupied. Diana's sapphire and diamond drop earrings, fashioned from the strap of her Saudi sapphire watch, spent years unseen in the royal vaults. After Diana's death, William brought them out. Kate debuted them publicly and has worn them at Trooping the Color, at the Commonwealth Day service, and at the Boston Royal Tour. Diana's pearl earrings, worn by Kate at the VE Day commemorations in May 2025, just weeks ago. Pattern by pattern, piece by piece, William has been making a series of quiet but unmistakable decisions. These pieces do not go to Camilla. They go to Kate, and what William cannot formally prevent, what belongs constitutionally, to the royal collection and therefore to Charles and Camilla. He has no legal mechanism to block, but he has something more powerful than law. He has proximity to his father, and multiple sources confirm that William has made his feelings about Diana's jewelry extraordinarily clear within the family. One source described his position as protective to the point of vigilance. Every piece that can be directed to Kate is every piece that surfaces in a context that connects it to Camilla rather than Diana's legacy. He notices whether those feelings have translated into a formal vault arrangement, and whether William has specifically ensured Camilla is denied access to particular pieces is not something the palace has confirmed. What is confirmed? By William's own actions and by the pattern of who wears what is this. He is his mother's guardian. He always has been, and he always will be. But there is a forward dimension to this story that almost nobody is covering. What happens to Diana's jewelry next? The sapphire ring is on Kate's hand. The lover's knot tiara is in Kate's vault. The pearl earrings, the drop earrings, all with Kate. And when William becomes king, which, if the abdication planning is real, could be sooner than anyone expects, Kate becomes queen, and Princess Charlotte becomes the next generation. Royal watchers have noted that Charlotte is already being prepared to carry Diana's legacy forward. The lover's knot tiara, Diana's most iconic piece, is expected to pass to Charlotte when the time comes. The pearl earrings, the sapphire suite. There is a line of inheritance being quietly constructed that goes Diana, Kate, Charlotte. A matrilineal line of legacy running through a family that is otherwise entirely defined by patrilineal succession. William is building it deliberately, consciously. One lone, one wearing, one quiet directive at a time. He could not save his mother. He could not protect her from the institution, from the press, from the tunnel in Paris. But he can protect what she left behind. He can ensure that the ring she chose from a catalogue in 1981, the ring that was never the most expensive on the tray, but was unmistakably hers, stays in the line of people who loved her. He can ensure that when Charlotte is old enough, she will know where each piece came from, who wore it, what it meant. And he can ensure that the woman who altered Diana's brooch and wore it to the races, however legally entitled she was to do so, does not become the story that defines Diana's collection. Diana's jewelry does not tell the story of the royal collection. It tells the story of Diana, and William has decided that he, and only he, gets to decide how that story is told. Here is what the story of Diana's sapphire ring actually tells us. Beyond the jewelry, beyond the palace politics, beyond Camilla. It tells us that William has never processed his mother's death the way the public has been told he has. The palace narrative, from almost the moment Diana died, was one of dignified grief, managed transition moving forward. Charles remarried. The family presented a united front. William and Harry grew up in public, carried out their duties, served in the military. The public was told they are doing well. They have found peace. But William's relationship with everything Diana left behind tells a different story. He does not loan those pieces casually. He does not forget who wears them, when, and why. He does not allow Diana's memory to be managed by the institution that, in his private reckoning, failed her. He manages it himself, and now, as the abdication of his father becomes more likely, as the crown moves closer to his head, as the palace prepares the next chapter, William is doing something that has never been done before in modern British royal history. He is preparing to be king as the son of a woman who was stripped of her title, pushed out of the family and died at 36 in a Parisian tunnel, and who is still, nearly 30 years later, more loved than almost any living member of the family she was removed from. The sapphire ring on Kate's finger is not just a piece of jewelry. It is a statement. It says, "She was here. She mattered, and I will not let you forget it, not the palace, not the institution, not Camilla." Diana chose that ring herself, from a catalogue, because she liked it. She could not have known that 43 years later, it would sit on the hand of the woman who has become the most beloved Princess of Wales since her. She could not have known that her son would carry it in his pocket for 13 years, terrified of losing it. She could not have known that her granddaughter, Charlotte, who has her eyes, would one day be next in line to wear what she left behind. But William knows all of it, and he is making sure every piece of it goes exactly where his mother would have wanted. Subscribe to Monarchy Uncensored and turn on notifications. This channel covers the real story behind the British royal family. No palace version, no approved narrative. I'll see you in the next one.